Hi everyone. In the previous parts of microorganisms in soil and their importance, we have learned about the different components of the soil, then a brief note of structure of the soil and the factors influencing the soil microorganisms and what are the different types of the microorganisms that are present in the soil in the part 1 and part 2. In this video, we are going to discuss about the significance of soil microorganism. That means we are going to learn about the importance of the presence of microorganisms in the soil. So let's begin. So all types of soil microorganisms of different physiological groups like autotrophs, heterotrophs, aerobes, anaerobes are going to be found in the soil, and they are all going to perform various functions through their interactions among themselves and with the plants and animals, and that's how they are influencing the plant growth. So the first significance of soil microorganism is going to be of primarily involved in the recycling of nutrients through biogeochemical cycles like carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, then hydrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, sulfur cycle, like this. Then this function is going to be of very crucial in the sustenance of our ecosystem. So the best examples of microorganisms which are involved in these biogeochemical cycles are going to be the nitrification microbial process is going to be Nitrosomonas, Nitrobacter microbes. In the same manner, aerobic decomposition of organic matter, that is by microbial process, is going to be the Trichoderma, then foams, then Armillaria, Nocadia, Streptomyces, then Achromobacter. Okay, so like this, we are going to have the different types of the bacteria which are involved in the biogeochemical cycles. Then coming to the different types of microbial process and the different types of the microorganisms, so you can have a look. The aerobic decomposition of the organic matter, that is cellulose, lignin and chitin, can be done by these microorganisms. In the same manner, anaerobic decomposition of organic matter can be done by Clostridium methane bacteria, that is Methanobacter and Methanococcus. Then non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation can be done by the Anabaena, Azotobacter and Basianica. Nitrogen immobilization is going to be done by the majority of the bacteria, fungi and actinomycetes. Nitrification is going to be done by our Nitrosomonas, Nitrobacter, then Nitrococcus, etc. So here you can see the denitrification process where the Pseudomonas and Achromobacter are involved. Then phosphate solubilization is going to be done by the Pseudomonas, Bacillus and Aspergillus species. Then sulfur transformation by Thiobacillus species, Bagiota and D-sulfovibrio. Iron transformations can be done. That means the microbial process of iron transformation is going to be done by the microorganism called Gallionella, Ferribacterium and Leptothrix. Then manganese transformation is going to be done by Aerobacter, Corynebacterium, Flavobacterium and Cladosporium. Then copper transformation is going to be done by D-sulfovibrio, Clostridium and Escherichia. So these are the few biogeochemical cycles or the nutrient cycles which are going to be very useful in our sustenance of the ecosystem, which are going to be done by the different types of the soil microorganisms. Okay, then moving to the second significance, the soil microorganisms are going to interact with the plant forming beneficial symbiotic association such that they will enable the plants to uptake the essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. We know that the nitrogen present in the atmosphere is going to be of 71%, but still the plants cannot take the gaseous nitrogen. So that nitrogen is going to be fixed by some of the microorganisms, especially soil microorganisms, and the phosphate is going to be present in the insoluble form, and the soluble form is going to be available only with the help of microorganisms. So that's how the soil microorganisms in a symbiotic association or in an asymbiotic association, they are helping the plants to take the essential nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. The examples of this kind of thing is going to be ectomycorrhiza in association Mostly basidiomycetes fungi like Armillaria and Boletus are going to be the best example. Then root nodules of legumes is going to be in association with Rhizobium species, and associative symbiosis is going to be done by the Azospirillum species. So let's have a glance of some associations and what are the plants that are going to have the relation and the microorganisms. So the rhizosphere, rhizoplane and the phyllosphere microflora is going to have the microorganisms like bacteria, fungi and actinomycetes, and these are going to be in association with the all plants with roots and leaves. Then moving to the ectomycorrhiza, the interaction is going to be of ectomycorrhiza. So most basidiomycetes fungi are going to be in association with the forest trees like pinus. Then endomycorrhiza, that is a vascular arbuscular mycorrhiza fungi. So here it is going to be the ectomycorrhiza which is present on the surface, that is external hyphae. Endo means they are going to introduce its vascular vesicles and the spores inside. So this is going to be of endomycorrhiza present inside. Okay. So here endomycorrhiza, which is also called as VAM fungi, that is vascular or vascular mycorrhiza fungal association, where the organisms which are involved is Rhizoctonia, Endogone and Glomus, which are going to have association with the plants like orchids, cereals, grasses and legumes. Then the association of root nodules of nodulating legumes, the best example that we know is the Rhizobium, and the plants in association like soya bean, gram and glycerin. Then here the root nodules of plants other than the legumes. So that means these are not going to have the rhizobium. So other than the legumes like the plants or alnus, myrica and casuarina, here the organisms are going to form the root nodules is Frankia. Then the leaf nodules. So some plants are having the association of formation of the leaf nodules, where the bacteria like Klebsiella forms these leaf nodules, and in the plants like Psychotoria and Pavita, and fixes the nitrogen. Then Anabina and nostoc are the another type of microorganisms which are going to have the algal association with higher plants like Cycas, Jamia, Heterogamia, then Neria scaba and Azolla. Then Azospirillum is going to have an associative symbiosis with grasses, sorghum and millets. So this is how you are going to have the beneficial interactions association between the plants and the soil microorganisms. Then some microorganisms become parasitic on underground parts of the plant and cause certain uh, plant root diseases. So example, if we take the Pythium, causes the damping of crown rot and stem rot diseases in plants. Then Rhizoctonia, a common cause of root disease and stem canker, and the Rhizoctonia solanae causes the damping of root rot, then crown rot, web blight, and stem canker in numerous greenhouse grown crops. So, to know or to find out the pathogen responsible of causing the diseases in plants, so that is also related to the soil microorganisms only. Then moving to the next significance, these soil microorganisms are going to degrade the plant litter. That means once the plant is going to be dead and fallen on the ground, so these have to be degraded. So that degradation is going to be by these microorganisms only. Not only the plant litter, they're also going to decompose the dead bodies of the plants, animals, and thus functioning as the scavengers of the environment. So that means they are going to remove the dead bodies of animals and the plants from this atmosphere, that means from the soil, and they are mixing up in the soil. So that's how they are acting as a scavengers. Then next one, the soil microorganisms are going to degrade most of the pollutant added to the soil. So here comes a concept of biodegradation of pesticides and the oil spills. So where this is a separate topic, the biodegradation of pesticides were discussed in detail in another video. So you can go through it, how the microorganisms are involved in degrading the pollutants that we are preparing. Okay, so that's how these are few significances of the soil microorganisms. Okay, with this we have finished off the soil microorganisms and their importance topic. Thank you.